In early June, news came from Taiwan businessmen in Shanghai that there was a shortage of money on the market and that the renminbi was tight. In mid-June, private equity funds in various provinces in China were unable to turn round or even close down. In late June, the reserves of the People's Bank of China for rescuing the stock market, state-owned banks and commercial banks dropped by 0.5%. The rescue benefits of this move range from 720 billion to 3.2 trillion yuan. At the same time, the Shanghai Stock Index fell to a 5-year low and the renminbi fell to a 3-year low against the dollar. What does all this have to do with Taiwan? 200 kilometers off the Chinese mainland, Taiwan is like a fine porcelain shop next door to an elephant. If the elephant stamped its feet, it could break a few pieces of porcelain in the store, and if it rolled over, it would shake the shelves in the store. If elephants get up and take a walk in the china shop, the shop will lose a lot of money. This geopolitical element, which used to be so, is now and will be so in the future. Therefore, Taiwan must know more about elephant physiology and elephant psychology than anywhere else. This essay is about the most directly related part of elephant physiology, the economic structure of elephants. It was only in recent years that Western economists realized that the various models of economic analysis that the West has so far applied to the Chinese elephant might be blind to feel the elephant. Not to mention the analysis of the financial investment community. Their aim is to make money from China, and the analysis method chosen is just how easy it is to make money. But Taiwan is not the case, because Taiwan is next to the elephant, and its direct or indirect economic correlation is more than 50%. No matter how hard it tries to break free, the correlation will probably never be lower than 40%. No matter how the bilateral relationship changes, it's been the same for you and me all my life. Therefore, Taiwan must not use a year or two as a time scale for judging China's economy, but must use at least 5 to 10 years as a yardstick. The long-term economy theory is very deep. I can only use an easy-to-understand the concept of a metaphor, the ups and downs of the business success or failure. China has often boasted that it took only 30 years for it to accomplish the achievements that Western powers could achieve in 200 years. In fact, it is also true that in terms of infrastructure, GDP, and urban appearance, China today and 30 years ago, in the cities, at least, there are total changes, and I personally went through the process. But if you see a company that does the same business by 1/10th time as an old big company, will you be in a bit of a doubt? Please note that this is about turnover, not market value. Market value can soar because of investors' mentality, and turnover is hard to do. Turnover booming like rocket speed can only be based on A. The product is so good to meet demand. B. The cost of production is lower than that of our competitors. And the price is the cheapest. And C. There is unlimited cash flow. On sale regardless of the cost. In my opinion, under the superficial overstate prosperity of China's economy, its essence is, in the first 30 years of reform and opening up, the motive force came from the above B. The production costs were lower than those of all competitors. And since the world financial crisis in 2008, the power comes from C. Having unlimited cash flow. To sum up, today's support for the Chinese economy is cash flow, not real profits or added value. The seemingly infinite cash flow comes from unlimited printing of banknotes, land exploitation of household savings, exploitation of environmental costs, and the so-called market under a large population, tempting to absorb foreign capital. In fact, there are very appropriate popular metaphors from China for the above models: 8 pots and 5 caps, beating drums and spreading flowers, and cutting leeks. Just a few years ago, most economists and even politicians in the United States and the West were still unaware of the Chinese model. Their minds were anchored in the big market of 1.4 billion people. They did not know that China's domestic demand market was just 85% of the exploited people support the illusion of 15% of elite consumption. By chance, there is a U.S. president, Donald Trump, who knows how corporate finances are faked, and he has decided to puncture the Chinese model. Elephants struggle, lose their temper, and vent their anger on small animals, a process that can take as long as a decade. The proprietors and clerks of porcelain shops living next to elephants must be fully prepared for disaster prevention and take good care of their valuables.